Hello everyone, 76 Patriot here, and today I'm going to be doing some rankings of the candidates for VP that we know are on Trump's shortlist. So as of the recording of this video, there are at least 8 people that we know of that are on his shortlist. All these people he has openly praised, said very positive things about, and I believe every single one of them has had vetting papers sent to them by his campaign. So without further ado, I'm just using tier maker here, and we're going to rank them. So S is obviously outstanding, the best. F is complete, utter hot garbage. So, and then all this stuff is anything in between. So without further ado, let's start off with Tim Scott. These are in no particular order, by the way. So Tim Scott is a guy that is extremely likable. I understand why a lot of folks like him. He has just an kind of an honest, down to earth, smiley guy, decent personality. And I think he's just a genuinely nice guy. However, his record has been kind of squishy. He's been relatively moderate on some things, particularly, foreign aid, big government type stuff, even some of the social issues. So Tim Scott, I'm going to put as, I'm deciding whether B or C. I don't know. I'll put him as a B just because he gets along well with Trump and the MAGA base. Also, he is incredibly soft-spoken, and I'm not sure how well that would do, for example, in a debate where he may need to go on offense a little bit. But he does come across as a very likable, genuine personality, and so I respect that. So I'd say he's in B category, probably. Up next, we have, of course, Marco Rubio. Now, this is a bit of a difficult one because I really like Rubio on some things. I didn't a number of years ago when he was running against Trump in the primary. Now I've come around to respect some of the social positions that he has, particularly against the woke agenda and stuff like that. Again, he's still a bit hawkish, perhaps, when it comes to some, he has some neocon tendencies here and there. Overall, though, Rubio's decent. I'd probably put him in B category, along with Tim Scott. Again, another likable guy. Honestly, compared to Scott, I feel like he's more guts, I feel like, when it comes to debating and arguing and stuff. He's a backbone, at least somewhat. I don't agree with everything he does, of course, but I do like Marco Rubio. So, next up we have, of course, Elise Stefanik. I am really mixed on her because she has come around, I think, to some kind of more of the MAGA ideology, more of the MAGA crowd recently, which is a good thing, obviously. Her voting record, though, has been a bit mixed. She voted for the Equality Act in 2019, which was possibly one of the worst pieces of legislation we've seen that would have federally basically mandated woke crap. So, and then she flip-flopped her decision, a couple years later and was like, oh yeah, I changed my mind. I don't know. I don't like her. She strikes me like one of those people that could be a wolf in sheep's clothing. Although she does have a fairly decent voting record as of relatively recently. So, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll put a C. Put her in C tier. I just don't feel that great about her, honestly. But we'll see. Tom Cotton next. Again, I really used to like Tom Cotton. I feel like he used to be in the news a lot more and kind of one of these rising young senators in the GOP that could just be primed for, a bright future. And I feel like he has completely gone off the radar. Partially, and I did actually bring up his voting record on Heritage Action here. I should have done these for all of them, but I just figured that would take too much time. So, Tom Cotton, as you can see, his decent lifetime score, pretty poor session score. The problem is he's voted for things like, I don't know why I didn't do this for the other ones, because, well, not all of them are currently in office, as you'll see. But he's voted for a lot of these huge, bloated minibus bills that are just ridiculous. And so, honestly, whoops, wrong article. It's a little preview of what to come, maybe. Not too sure about him. I would put him in B because he's good. He's good on some things. And he's Trumpian in a lot of his policy, a lot of his voting record, except when it comes, again, another one of those kind of hawkish politicians with a bit of a knack for foreign countries. So I'm not a big fan of that at all. Up next, we have Byron Donalds, and I love this guy. Byron Donalds is possibly one of the most, if not the most, certainly in like the top 5 best members of the House, in my opinion. And we can see right here. I did pull his up, so I guess I lied. I did pull his up as well on Heritage Action. He is 100 sessions, 98 lifetimes. This is insane. He is, in all seriousness, one of the best members of the House. He is America First, full-on MAGA, Trumpian conservative. He is a real, genuine conservative, and his charisma is off the charts too. He's kind of he's a younger, enthused. Just when you talk to him, and no offense to Tim Scott, because I do like Tim Scott on a number of things, but he makes Tim Scott just kind of, feel rather unsuited for politics. Byron Donalds feels like he was made to talk to the cameras and smile at the cameras and debate with people. So for that reason, I'm gonna put him in S tier. I love Byron Donalds. So moving on, of course, we have J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is, in my opinion, possibly the best member of the Senate. Kind of like I would say he's Donald's kind of version in the Senate. Just like Donalds is possibly the best member of the House, I would say Vance is that in the Senate. He is 100% America First, and I didn't pull up the page, silly me, but he has, again, very close to, like, it's a high 90 on Heritage Action. So he is very pro, our resources staying in America rather than getting shipped out to foreign lands and foreign wars. He is anti, hawkish neocon tendencies and very, very America First. So J.D. Vance, again, very charismatic. If you've ever seen him, he's very good when talking to cameras, when debating, when talking to newscasters and dumb liberal hacks. He is really good with that. I would love to see Vance in a debate with whoever, I don't know, with whoever, Harris, I guess it would be. I would love to see him debate. Oh my gosh, he would win so well. Vance, S tier. Whoops, mouse was going crazy there. S tier for sure. These guys are some of my favorite politicians, honestly. They're both young, they're charismatic, and they truly are conservative. Doug Burgum, this is probably going to be controversial for a lot of people. I do not like Doug Burgum. In my opinion, he's quite possibly the worst on this list. He is, quite frankly, an awful Republican, in my opinion. Sure, are there worse out there? We got Mitt Romney, we got, Murkowski. We got plenty of worse Republican politicians. Eric Holcomb, But he is really bad, in my opinion. I remember back in, and I pulled this article up for you guys to see. I remember back, this was in 2020, I believe it's 2020. It says 2020. And he basically went against his own party. And yeah, he said all North Dakotans deserve to be treated equally and live free of discrimination. There's no place for the hurtful and divisive rhetoric. And they're basically, and North Dakota GOP was saying very common sense, conservative, pro-family, social, clean ideals. And he felt that was bad. So I remember when that came out. I don't usually attack people for just a single thing. But he also has, strong ties to other, let's say, prominent billionaires that, I won't name them, but let's just say that are very bad people. Good friends with these people. And he's one of these rich kind of moguls. And I'm a conservative, big free market proponent and capitalist. So I have nothing against wealth. But he's basically another Pete Ricketts that just kind of buys his way into politics. Worse than Pete Ricketts, actually. So I'm going to put him in D tier. I don't know why there's been this Burgum surge over the past couple months, and everybody's like, yeah, this guy, he's great, I think it's because he hasn't had a lot of baggage and he's kind of just I wouldn't say in the shadows, but just kind of more not in the limelight, just doing his thing, pretty scandal free, except for that stuff. I mean, that's just bad. So, last but certainly not least, we have Dr. Ben Carson. And I like Ben Carson a lot. He is similar to Tim Scott, relatively, as far as his mild mannered, kind of calm, very calm demeanor, except you feel like he actually. I'm not putting down Tim Scott at all, but sometimes Scott comes across as like he's trying to pander to people a little bit and just make everybody feel, at home. Carson is not afraid to speak his mind, and I appreciate that. I respect that. Now, would he do great in a debate because he's so mild-mannered? I think he would do okay because he is incredibly smart. This man is honestly one of the smartest people in politics I've been around. I mean, haven't been around him, in person, obviously, but you know, reading about and stuff. So I'm going to give Ben Carson the A spot. He doesn't quite make it into S tier, because again, he's just lacking a bit of that charisma factor. But he is an incredibly smart and based individual. I thought he had a great job overall as Trump's HUD, Housing Urban Development Secretary. I like Ben Carson a lot. He knows what he's doing for sure. So that's it, guys. This is my ranking of Trump's, current, who we know is on his current shortlist. There could be more people. He could pick somebody that's not. It's very possible. I wouldn't say likely, but it's very possible he could pick somebody totally out of left field because, of course, these are rumors. Even though he has praised all these people publicly, it's not official necessarily. This is not his official shortlist. So, but it's shaping up to be probably one of these people, in my opinion. I don't know. I think there's some standouts on this list for sure. I think there's some that are pretty meh, and then possibly a couple that are bad and could be establishment hacks, and we don't want that. We want somebody that'll pair well with Trump, win over voters, and just govern well, do their job well as a conservative. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more content like this in the future. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.